What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another informative video, and today we are going to talk about the differences between organic food and conventional food. By conventional food I mean food with pesticides, herbicides and all of that you can find on the supermarket, and we are going to see if organic food is really that much healthier and if pesticides and herbicides and all of that and conventional food are really that bad for our health. We are going to take a look into the science. So pesticides are considered as probable carcinogens. That means that they do probably cause cancer, but that relationship is only well established when it comes to the people working with pesticides, spraying on the fields, and the people living near the areas where they spray them. The relationship between cancer and all kinds of diseases and pesticides in foods that we eat is actually not well established at all. And that's really the big question that we need to answer: if pesticides in the small quantities that we find at the supermarket are harmful to us. So let's start this video by taking a look into the nutritional value of organic food and conventional food. Is the difference really that big? Well, according to this study, the difference between macronutrient content, that means carbs, protein and fats, and vitamins and minerals content is not that big. So it doesn't matter if it's conventional or organic, the difference is not that big. But foods are not just macronutrients, vitamins and minerals. Foods have a lot of chemicals, good chemicals. They have a lot of phytonutrients, antioxidants, and in here we see a big difference between organic foods and conventional foods. With organic foods being higher in antioxidant and phytonutrient content, and they are also lower in heavy metals content. In vitro studies with conventional strawberries versus organic strawberries in fighting cancer show that the organic ones are better. Once again, this can be explained by the extra antioxidant and phytonutrient content. If we base this only on the antioxidant content, then organic foods are 30 to 40% healthier. That being, they have 30 to 40% higher content of antioxidants and phytonutrients. But this is actually a difference that is easy to solve. All you need to do is eat more conventional foods, eat a little bit more, and you'll get the same result. Eat 30% more broccoli, more conventional broccoli than organic broccoli, and you'll get the same amount of nutrients overall. And this is even less of a problem when you consider that organic food is more expensive, so in the nutrient per dollar measure it's really the same. So to answer the first question, yes, organic food is healthier, but not that much healthier, and most people overestimate the benefits of organic food. Okay, but the real question here, and the one that is interesting to me, is not if organic food is healthier, but if conventional food with pesticides and all of that is safe to eat. And that's what we are going to look into now. As I said in the beginning, the relationship between pesticides and cancers, diseases and all of that is well established, but only in the people that work with them or live in the areas. The relationship between pesticides, diseases and living in the same area where they spray them is so big that even having a baby being pregnant in an area where they spray fields is dangerous. This study found that it can even diminish brain function of the fetus. This is a result of pretty much every study that looks into this, and this study even analyzed the brains of the children and found that pesticides create anomalies. From other study, exposing the fetus to pesticides increases the probabilities of leukemia, and the same were found for brain tumors. But once again, these results were only found and associated with moms who work or live in the areas where they spray pesticides, okay? It's not what the mother ate while she was pregnant, it's where she lived or her work or her environment. This study analyzed children's urine to look into the levels of pesticides and found that in an organic diet the results are way better. You can look into the graph and see when they were eating organic and when they were eating conventional food. And the same result was found in a study with adults. In just 1 week they reduced the levels of pesticides in their bodies by 90%. 90%. So yeah, we know that we can reduce the levels of pesticides in our bodies by eating organic. But the question remains, are those levels of pesticides in our body harmful, or they won't really do a lot to our health? To answer this question, we need a study that looks into 2 different groups, one eating organic, one eating conventional, for a long period of time, many years, and see the results and the diseases that they get. And that's exactly what they did with this study. And the results, well, there's not really much of a difference between the 2 groups when it comes to cancer incidence, except for non-Hodgkin lymphoma, that was significantly higher in the conventional foods group. So once again, the relationship between pesticides consumption and cancers is really not well established. So to answer the question, are pesticides in the levels that we find at the supermarket safe? Well, probably yes, okay? Probably yes, and especially when you wash them. If you wash them really well, just with water, you don't need anything else, just with water, you can get rid of a lot of the remaining pesticides. Another thing that I have to address is that not all pesticides or herbicides are the same. That's pretty obvious. Just because one of them is bad doesn't mean that all of them are bad for our health. For example, we know that Roundup and glyphosate from Monsanto are really harmful to our health, but that doesn't mean that all the pesticides, all the herbicides are bad for our health. That's why it's really hard to generalize the question, are pesticides really that bad for us? Because there are so many different types of pesticides and levels and strength and all of that, so it's really a hard question to answer. So the conclusion of this topic is very simple. As this study found, adding 1 piece of conventional fruit with pesticides to the standard American diet could prevent about 20,000 cases of cancer in a year, while the cases of cancer caused by the extra pesticides in that 1 piece of fruit would only be 10. So basically, by adding 1 piece of fruit to the American diet, we could prevent around 19,099 cases of cancer, while only getting 10 cases of cancer because of the pesticides. Now, this was an industry-sponsored study, so maybe they downplayed the risks a little bit, but the conclusion is still valid, and here it is. If you have to take anything from this video, take this. Eat organic whenever possible. Okay, because why take any risk? We need a lot more studies, a lot more information, so eat organic when possible. When not possible, stuff your face with fruits and vegetables, with as many fruits and vegetables as possible, even if they're conventional. Never let the fear of pesticides and herbicides stop you from eating more fruits and vegetables, okay? Because the benefits that you get from fruits and vegetables, even conventional ones, are so big when compared to the problems that you can get from pesticides, that it's not even a relevant question for our day-to-day lives. Eat as many vegetables as possible. So that's it for the video, guys. Let me know on the comments down below what you think. You have a lot of the sources from this video in the description, and thank you to nutritionfacts.org for a lot of the information for this video. I use nutritionfacts.org a lot for these types of videos because they have all the sources linked and I go read the studies. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and I'm gonna see you all in the next video.